thank you for joining me on the channel Mazara Tarot. Today I am doing a reading for the sign of Gemini. If you're not a Gemini, excuse me, you don't have to be a Gemini. You could be a cross watcher. The title of the reading can resonate for you, so on and so forth. Also, I will be using male and female pronouns, but you don't have to be a biological man or woman to be in either of the energies. So let's go ahead and get into it. You guys, I don't know if I got bit by something, of course. I hate it here. I don't hate it here. I hate the people that are here. I hate the people that are here, the bugs that are here. I don't like all that. Otherwise, beautiful place. All right, so let's go ahead and get into it. That's not it. Gemini, past energy, please. All right, Gemini. So we are dealing with a whole new week. So it is a reset. So we're using the same cards, of course, but we are getting different messages for those set cards. All right. I know that brand. In the past, I don't know why. Okay. But there was a prominent figure, but they were associated with wearing a certain brand. Now, the brand could have been a staple for that person. It represented maybe them being official or something, because I don't feel like it was quote unquote like a work uniform, something that Aries was dealing with in the past, even though we're doing Gemini, as above so below. But it's just standing out to me. Now I feel like though socket, the person could have associated like, well, I wear this brand because this brand is beneficial for the environment. It's good for the environment. Like, I don't know any specific brand. I think it's like Bombas. Is that a sock? It's like, I wear this brand, or I did in the past, because it's associated with, or whatever, giving back to the environment. It is good for the environment. It's manufactured in the United States or wherever a person is living, and the employees are treated well, and they, you know, when I buy one or something like that, the profits, some of the portion of the profits go back to the communities or certain organizations that I stand by. The thing is, and there's nothing wrong with that, right? Shopping for a cause, even if it is a quote unquote brand like Bombas socks or something like that, it's like I'm consciously aware that even when I buy something, that I want it to represent something. The only issue that I have, but I'm not saying it like a car. I wanted to clarify that for the past, for Gemini, or I'm gonna say a young male, but he could have been, he wouldn't have been necessarily in a frat house, but he could have had roommates. But because he had roommates and he essentially came from a nice middle-class family, or, you know, he strived or whatever, you know, he lived in a suburban area, he lived in a nice place, even though he had roommates. But he could have been foreign or brown, or, you know, he could have had his issues where he had to dance around certain topics and not necessarily walk around on eggshells, but it's like, you know, superiority. But regardless, it's not a car like a Tesla where it's like, I want to watch my, is it green foot or whatever? I don't see it as that. It could have been. But essentially what I was getting to is that young male, because he wore that brand, and it gave back to society, or it gave back, even though it is a costly brand, it's still a brand. And I don't feel like with the brand it was 100% going back to the community. I feel like a masculine energy, he would talk about that brand a lot, like, but it would have signified his, it wouldn't have been virtue signaling, but just like how much better him is than you, or like how he spends his money, and his money is really just in for the economy and for people in need, or people in Africa, or people here. It's something about a brand in a masculine energy, maybe something about his socks, but a conversation starter. Because I do feel like, for me, it's a recognizable brand, essentially. But is he hiding something? Yes. I do feel like he's hiding something. I mean, I feel like it could be bright, something that a masculine energy is hiding. It doesn't have to be a negative in the past. Okay. But it's like, he could have a conversation, like a masculine energy could have a conversation, or he did in the past, with his father, not necessarily, maybe an elder male. Like, I'm balancing my money, because even though these Bomba socks is $30 for 2 pairs, 10% of that goes to a charity. The father could just say something like, the father could just say something like, well, why don't you just donate to a charity? Like, you must get something back? You must get a product back? It doesn't have to be. I just feel like maybe in the past, a masculine energy is like, even with all my philanthropic work, it's not good enough for a father, because I want something out of it. That's just a conversation starter, or we need to, or in the past, if it wasn't that, a masculine energy is like, I want to have a conversation with my father, or I want to have a conversation with people, because I feel like if we are going to be buying these socks or buying these brands, then a portion of the proceeds needs to go to, it's something along those lines. I don't know, but I do feel like a masculine energy was hiding something. It's not a boarding pass. It's not a boarding school. It's not a boarding pass. It's not. Someone essentially is like, they're not getting across to me. They're not getting across to me, or I'm not getting across to them. Because, like, no one is here for me. Emotionally, like, my sister and my dad, or my uncles, or somebody, they're not here for me. I'm gonna show you guys what I'm saying. All I'm saying here is, on this boat is like board. But someone is like, I'm not boarding. I'm not boarding. There's no boarding pass. I can't, he's not getting across to me. This would normally represent to me a mother and a son. So for me, because it is opposite, it's like my father and my sister. They're not talking. They're not there emotionally for me. And I'm really like, this brand thing, this philanthropic thing has going on. It's just, but it just represents, and I can relate, because this is not my brand, but I can relate. And mass energy, because of what I got, and it does match with that. I'll show you the card in a second. It's like a gift, or someone could live in LA. He's like, I live in Santa Monica. I don't know what it is. It's he feels like he could offer a gift to the world, and something. All right, so the card I was seeing was the Justice card, but this is standing out to me. the cape or whatever, cloak, I don't know what it is, but it's like the brand is important. But it's like, is it connected to his socks? But he would think it's charitable, and he's like, I want to have conversations and yada yada yada, but it's covering up something. He's like, hey. Or if it's not, he's covering up something. He's like, before I show the world, or before I introduce it to the world, before I, let me make this pitch or something like that to someone. Someone doesn't have a boarding pass. I don't know. Someone is not all aboard. They're not on board. They're not on board with this, because his mother or his sister, they're not on board with that mother and that sister. Some lady is so much more than that. It's like all inclusive. I feel like when that masculine energy, Gemini in the past, showed the world, or like, hell, it'd be like, I'll show you. You don't believe in my philanthropic bumper stocks? You don't believe in it? Y'all didn't want to get on board when y'all could have? Y'all didn't feel the magic? Y'all didn't feel the love? Y'all didn't feel the emotions for what I said? I don't know what the hell is going on, Gemini. I feel like when a masculine energy did unveil or pull back the curtain, it was a success. It was all inclusive. Okay. Like, it would have expanded, those bomba socks would have expanded into sweaters and skirts and different colors and things like that. But I feel like, I don't know what I'm talking about, Gemini, but I feel like the brand would have been lost. Meaning that initial thing that people recognized about the brand, maybe that philanthropic thing, or, someone is like the economy, but it's like, it's more than an economy. Somebody is like, I buy perishables, local market, because it gives back to the local farmers. You guys get the gist. I just feel like that thing that was recognizable currently about that person, but it's not like Pisces, where it was like, to attract people. It would have been an actual quote unquote good thing. A good thing. It didn't really have anything. You couldn't have been biased about it. It's just some people would have not felt like it was important, because it's just like, if you want to donate, just freaking donate. You don't have to make me try to buy bomba socks for it. Whatever. It has nothing to do with that brand, okay? So, if someone likes those socks, it is what it is. But what I'm saying is, like, that brand has been lost. That marking, that staple about something has been lost. But the thing is, because somebody is like, I told y'all, look at all these awards that I've got. Look at all the people that love my products. Look at it, and it's like, it's magical, yes, but a masculine energy, he's got this aura about himself, like he did it alone, on his principle. Now this masculine energy, he didn't sit by the wayside. He wasn't praying for somebody's downfall. I do feel like he put in the work. I do feel like he put in the time. But I'm going to say, like, I don't feel currently, because the masculine energy has gotten to this position, that he doesn't have control over his brand. That he was really, like, in the court sweating. What's it called now? The court sweating. Like, he's not in the gym sweating. Him not actually in the sweatshop sewing. Him not doing it. But he's like, people loved my idea, and I get paid well, and I get recognized well for what I said. Is it wrong? No. But now I feel like currently a masculine energy would be in the inner circle of the who's who's. He's like, I get invited here, I get invited there, I get invited. And there's just an age difference. And a masculine energy, he's more, not bohemian. He's like, I've grown out my hair. I'm just, go with the flow. The only issue I have with all of that is that he would be There's I feel energetically, spiritually, there's a difference between how he started and who he is, because it's not he's lost his soul. I don't feel like that. It's more so like he could come off as greedy now, when before the whole thing was about wait and see. You know, this is good for the environment. This is good. You know, when you buy one pair of socks for me, I donate 20 to Africa type of thing. I feel like a mass energy, he's kind of just lost the plight of that in his success, in his, if it's not that, what was shown, the model of it, I'm not loving it. It could be, it's not racist. It's like directed to possibly one race of people. It's not all inclusive, if that's not the thing. Like maybe a mask energy is still in the drawing board currently, but he's like, this is for Indian man like myself, like my father, and da 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 da. But it's like he could broaden his horizon and be more successful if he wasn't directing it to one market or like one target audience or something like that. Now, all businesses have a target audience, but the target audience shouldn't be just Indian man or white man or man in general. It should be to anyone that is wanting to give back or wanting to be, you know, philanthropic, I guess. I don't know what the fuck. I'm saying words of wisdom. I don't know what I'm talking about. I definitely am into that. I mean, yes, I am into that. But meaning I'm not as sober. The Hermit card came out. Why do I feel like currently if somebody was still at the drawing board, but they're like, a lot of people ain't getting on board with my idea, you know? I feel like someone is like, they're in their shell about it. I actually don't feel that way. It could be like a professor or a teacher or just a wise individual. I feel like they've stumbled across something. Like, why did you throw this good idea away? Why did you just put this in your closet and just leave it there? You just, because certain people in your family or certain people just didn't get on board, you just don't care. You just don't care. Even though a person would have had so many other people behind them that loved the idea, it would have been like, those pivotal people in my life didn't want to get on board. Instead of saying, I'm not going to take no for an answer, someone could have taken no for an answer. But I just feel like somebody is coming across it. It could be with someone like a coworker, someone that's like, I don't actually have a lot of money to invest, but they're like, let's get back to the drawing board or something like that, because why would you just waste a good idea like this? If it's not, I'm saying divine. If it is not, and it is that other scenario where someone did unveil and they didn't care that people didn't get on board, and now they in rooms that other people ain't getting into, they are going to be visited by somebody that's like, I invited you here today, but they want to shed light on something, and it could piss someone off. I'm just saying someone with them arms folded line. The person that could invite them somewhere, them like, you took an oath. You publicly said you was going to donate something. I just feel like they're going to be shedding light or something about a company, business, house, or home, or a person, individual. The World card came out currently. Oopsie daisy. Whoever the hell it is, that's like inviting someone, or if it is somebody that invited someone somewhere, but they're like, I'm going to expose you. It would be like a roasting of someone. They're like, I got the world behind me. And to the devil, I don't know. But then like, the world also agree with what I'm saying. If it's not that, and somebody is like, oh my God, why would you put that in the closet like that? Or why are you in the closet? I don't know what the hell it is. Because somebody in the damn closet, okay? But regardless if somebody's in the closet Gemini or not, I'm like, you got great talents. I don't know what the world card could signify in that situation, to be honest. I don't feel like that person that will come in is not a spiritual divination, excuse me. It's not a spiritual intervention. The Hermit, it's not that, but it could feel that way because somebody's like, you need to come out the closet, or you need to reintroduce that brilliant idea, or you need to talk to the other people. That person could be the way though for somebody's like, I can get you to talk to that lady. Who's that lady? Some worldly lady. And she might love your ideas because she's been in the market for sweaters and socks that can be diversified and also divided amongst all types of people. And she's instrumental because she's very much like the magician too. But I will say this. If that's the case, a person just needs to be cognizant that they could get invited to go speak to someone about their idea, or maybe how they just came out the closet or something like that. I don't know what the hell it is. But then, like, that lady is a little eccentric. She's got this old Hollywood flair about herself. She's very old-fashioned, but meaning like you're not going to be able to talk to her like you would have talked to somebody before that weren't getting on board, and you got the damn bulletin points and about how you're going to be able to divide the profit. You're going to have to talk to her with flair and pizzazz. But it would be great practice because that's what the world is into. The world is into flair, bedazzle, just all that shiny shit. The added effect, or of giving back Gemini could be just a cherry on top. But the thing that they want, essentially someone would have to learn how to be a salesman. Even though they're like, I'm a creator, or I'm philanthropic, or I'm gay in the closet. I don't know what it is. But then, like, you need to also learn how to be a damn salesman, because you need to learn how to sell that. Because people don't want to just be told. They want to believe in something. But like I said, someone has, over time, because so many people didn't get on board, they're like, I've kind of lost what the brand was about. I don't even remember what this brand is about. It's not that. It's not recognizable. It's like that brand could be anything. Before it didn't necessarily have something tried and true because it was new. It was just getting established. But it was building a brand that could have been easily recognizable, like Fruit of the Looms, like a tagline, a brand, a moniker, or something. It's just gotten lost. Okay. It could be under new management. Someone could have sold their company as well to a conglomerate, and that conglomerate do not give a damn. The Wheel of Fortune came out for the future energy for Gemini. It weighs heavy on somebody though. I don't want to be familiar with that. And I feel like that's something Gemini don't want to be familiar with, because there's dark entities that are there. Now, I do feel like it's tied to the world. There's darkness in the world. There's darkness afoot. But it weighs heavy. But I feel like Geminis have to be careful, because Geminis would essentially be doing something good. Or at least this person would have been doing something good. And that goodness and that success, and it could go against the powers and the principalities. Like, you said, what you gonna do? Like, people like things to stay the way they are, especially if they are beneficial. People like negativity. People like that. And Gemini's new idea could go against the status quo. even though there's so much good that is actually out there, I feel like the positive, yes, would outweigh the negative. But because of that, it's like it would get the negatives attention, and they would be laser focused on Gemini's brand or whatever. Because them like, we don't like how you're trying to change this. We don't like how you're trying to turn this in everybody's favor. We doesn't like this because we are the negative. The thing is, the positive are like positive people, energy, spirits. They are there, right? But because things are going so well, they've kind of, they're not focused on Geminis anymore. They're like, oh, that's going good for Gemini. Everything's going well for Gemini. I can sit back, relax, and cozy up and get a nice book and get into a nice reading or something like that. But it's like, Gemini will know, it's like, y'all need to really pay attention because I'm really facing some negative shit. Whatever it is, somebody gonna try it in the future, bum rush their way through. Okay. But I do feel like it's tied to that meeting, like in the future, someone's like, I'm not gonna let that stop me. I'm gonna push my way through, and I'm gonna have that conversation with Anna Wintour. I'm gonna have that conversation with this lady. The death card came out. Scorpio? Gemini's dealing with Scorpio? No shit. I don't like that though. The person in the hermit shell, they could be on their last leg. Somebody that was going through a death process. But because of that, they're like, I've gotten wisdom. I know about staying in the closet. I know about putting things off. I know about this and that. You should not do that. It doesn't have to be that. It's just something. It's just an ending. I'm seeing violence. There could be an ending of violence in the life of Gemini. I don't know what the hell it is. Geminis could be fighting an illness as well. Gemini is like, I feel death around the fucking corner. But Gemini is like, I really got to push through, even though I feel like a prisoner or I feel stuck. You know, I really need to get across to the world something that I want to say. The lovers. The lovers at the top. I do like a, I don't know what that means. Gas? I don't know what I'm talking about. But that's all I got. Godspeed. God bless. Bye.